Stop whatever you are doing. Virgo, you didn't find this message by accident, and it wasn't an algorithm that brought you here. It is the exact timing of your cycle demanding that you hear this right now. I feel the exhaustion you've been carrying, this strange mix of feeling completely drained while sensing that something massive is about to shift. Do not scroll past this, because what I'm about to reveal is the exact reason why your life is accelerating so fast right now. You called it overwhelming chaos. The universe called it the acceleration of your reset. You thought this sudden pressure and things speeding up around you was just stress, but it is actually a spiritual acceleration pushing you into your new era. You have been carrying this heavy silence, working in the shadows, waiting for your turn, suddenly feeling everything shifting at once, but still carrying the deep fear that it might all collapse at the last minute. The enemy is the invisible spiritual envy that fed on your stagnation, desperately trying to make you fear this reset, so you remain small. For years, the water of your blessings was held back by an invisible wall of envy. But now the dam has shattered, and the current is far too strong for anyone to stop. You will discover why the sudden chaos around you is actually your new era arriving. You will understand the exact spiritual envy that tried to delay this reset. You will learn how to protect the new doors opening so they cannot be shut again. You will see the 3 signs that your energy field is finally being cleared, and before this message closes, I will tell you one sentence about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. And I know a part of you will want to doubt this because you are so used to the struggle, but I need you to trust the timing of this revelation. Have you ever felt that strange tightness in your chest when things start moving too fast, as if your body is waiting for the other shoe to drop? As if your own mind is trying to convince you that this new era is a mistake and you should just stay where it's safe? What if this sudden rush of events isn't just random chaos, but a sign that the universe is aggressively breaking the spiritual envy that kept you stagnant? Because while many people panic when life accelerates, few realize that this sudden shift carries a breaking of old chains, a clearing of heavy eyes, and a spiritual reset that cannot be stopped. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation that you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life right when it is about to work out? What if every promotion that vanished, every yes that turned into a no every time you had to rebuild from scratch, every exhaustion after dealing with certain people, and this constant feeling of swimming against an invisible tide were signs of a spiritual envy that you have ignored for far too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This digital book is not just a read. It is a revelation created for Virgos who desire to understand the hidden mechanics of this acceleration, to cut the final invisible cords of envy, and to shield your new era so you can finally grow without apologizing. Many Virgos already feel that they need to protect themselves from this energy that surrounds them. But they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention. The access could be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs, and directions that can transform the way you navigate this sudden speed in your life. Do not wait for another massive opportunity to slip through your fingers to realize your energy was exposed. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the spiritual envy that tried to delay your reset might be the exact proof that your new era is too powerful to be contained. If this first word has already touched something within you, write, "My era is shielded" down below. Not for me, but because another Virgo who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path of protection has a map, and it is already within your reach in the first pinned comment. I will come back to it shortly. And if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I do not receive a single cent for any of these messages that I deliver here every day, nothing at all. And yet they keep coming out every day, for you and for every Virgo who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wants to give back a little of what you received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any amount that your heart points to, this is what keeps this channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another Virgo tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I am waiting for you there, Virgo. I haven't even told you the most important thing yet. Stay with me. There are 4 signs that this siege is already acting upon you, and you will recognize at least one of them. I need you to slow down for a second, Virgo. Notice how your body reacts to what I am about to say right now. This is not about the everyday stress you are so used to managing perfectly. This is about that strange, heavy undercurrent you have been feeling just beneath the surface of all these sudden changes. The chaos you are witnessing is not a punishment for moving forward. It is the friction of your light finally outgrowing the container they tried to keep you in. And because you are so perceptive, your field has been picking up on this resistance. There are 4 specific signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon you in this exact cycle, and you will recognize them immediately. Think about that sudden wave of anxiety you felt yesterday afternoon while looking at an email or a message that contained good news. For some of you, this appeared as a strange tightness in your stomach right after hanging up a call that confirmed a victory. For others, it was an immediate instinct to expect the worst, just when a door finally swung open. You called it sudden anxiety. The universe called it the breaking of an old energetic cage. That wasn't imposter syndrome, Virgo. That was your energy field remembering the envy that usually follows your success. Then there is the silence. The heavy silence from that one specific person when you hinted that things were finally moving forward for you. You noticed the slight pause, the change of subject, the lack of genuine celebration in their eyes. You brushed it off, telling yourself they were just having a bad day or dealing with their own issues. But you called it people acting strange. The universe called it the clearing of your spiritual path. That wasn't them being busy or distracted. It was the exact sound of a spiritual drain losing its grip on you. And then comes the night. Waking up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing about everything that could go wrong right when a major blessing is trying to land in your lap. The sudden exhaustion that hits you out of nowhere, dragging your thoughts into endless scenarios of failure and loss. You tried to fix it with logic, making lists and overanalyzing every detail. But that wasn't natural worry. That was the residue of the invisible siege trying to pull you back into the old cycle, desperately attempting to exhaust you before you can cross the finish line. Finally, the instinct to hide, that sudden urge to delete a post, take back a statement, or downplay a recent win during a casual conversation. You caught yourself apologizing for your own momentum, shrinking your light so you wouldn't blind those around you. You convinced yourself you were just being practical, not wanting to jinx it. But that wasn't humility. That was your energetic defense mechanism, trying to shield your new era from heavy eyes. These signs have a common origin, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of protection, and I am going to open it right now. Before the name, before the word. Because anyone carrying the heavy weight of this invisible siege needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And this is exactly where the path of protection opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit you by accident, Virgo. They are not random occurrences or the product of your overactive imagination. I know exactly how you feel right now. I know you feel this sudden rush of adrenaline mixed with fear, as if stepping into your new era is somehow incredibly dangerous. It is a strange, freezing sensation echoing deep in your bones. It feels exactly as if your own mind is trying to convince you that this new era is a massive mistake, and you should just stay where it is safe, where nothing changes and no one notices your brilliance. But I need you to elevate your perspective right now. What if this sudden rush of events is not just random chaos, but a blinding sign that the universe is aggressively breaking the spiritual envy that kept you stagnant for years? The discomfort you are feeling in your chest is not a warning to stop. It is the sound of your old energetic cage snapping in half. It is the friction of your frequency leaving their heavy vibration behind. I have seen Virgos who are exactly where you are right now. I have watched them stand at the very threshold of the greatest energetic shift of their entire lives, carrying this exact same invisible weight on their shoulders. They had the talent. They had the perfect timing. The doors were finally swinging wide open for them after years of quiet, exhausting preparation. But because they did not know how to consciously shield their energy when the acceleration began, They let the invisible siege convince them to step back. They let the silent, piercing envy of others dictate their speed, and they completely lost the window. They retreated back into the shadows, convincing themselves they were just being humble, because it felt safer than outshining the people around them. You are standing in that exact same critical window right now. And I refuse to let you make that same mistake. I will not watch you sabotage your own liberation. The sudden cancellations, the friends who went quiet, the heavy eyes watching your every move. It is time to cut the cords. And it was exactly to break this cycle that I found the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. This digital book is not just a collection of words. It is the definitive map to understand the hidden mechanics of this acceleration that is taking over your life right now. It was forged to help you cut the final invisible cords of envy and shield your new era so you can finally grow without apologizing to anyone. Because there is a massive cosmic law that governs this exact moment in your journey, and it states this clearly. Envy can only trap what stands still. When your frequency accelerates, the heavy eyes simply cannot track your light anymore. But you must be willing to claim that speed. You must embrace the velocity. This configuration does not wait for you to feel comfortable, and this cycle will only open this specific door once. You cannot afford to leave your energy field unprotected right now. Every day you spend without this shield is a day you feed their drain. Every single victory you hide to keep the peace is a message that you fear your own light. Every massive opportunity you second-guess is a clear chance for the invisible siege to drag you back to zero. You have worked far too hard in the shadows, absorbing the dust and fixing everyone else's problems, to let someone else's unhealed envy collapse your ultimate reset just as it finally begins. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Download it right now while this exact word is still alive and vibrating in your spirit. Because what you are securing today is the absolute spiritual shielding of this new era that only this map can provide entirely. Close your eyes for a moment, Virgo. Let the absolute weight of what we just uncovered settle deeply into your system. I want you to visualize that massive dam we spoke about earlier. For so many years, it forcefully held back the rushing waters of your life, keeping everything perfectly controlled, stagnant, and completely quiet. You got so used to the heavy silence of the dry riverbed that you entirely forgot what it felt like to truly flow. But that invisible dam is completely shattered now. The water is rushing forward with an undeniable blinding force, washing away the thick dust of all those years of waiting in the background while others took the credit. You might feel the intense pressure of the current right now, but hear me clearly. You are not drowning. You are finally being carried to the exact destination where you always belonged. The only thing you need to do right now is stop desperately trying to rebuild the walls that the universe just aggressively destroyed for your sake. Breathe out the deep tension in your shoulders. The current is completely in your favor, and it is permanently moving you away from the heavy eyes. And as I had told you earlier, Virgo, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that open voluntary donation link right below the book. I continue to not receive a single cent for each message that leaves here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Virgo tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount that your heart points to. Every such gesture keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach those who need it, exactly as it reached you today. What is acting against you has a shape, and it has a deadline. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. You have been calling this sudden chaos and pressure in your life a streak of bad luck. You thought it was just natural exhaustion from working so hard for so long, a random string of overwhelming events piling up at your door. You assumed you just needed to manage your time better or try a little harder to keep everything from falling apart. But it is not bad luck. It is not a coincidence. It is not a punishment for your ambition. It is what the universe recognizes as the velocity shift, a specific, highly compressed cosmic window where all of your delayed karmic rewards are suddenly being delivered at once. For years, the energy around you was dense, slow, and heavily monitored by the spiritual envy of those who secretly benefited from your stagnation. This specific window, opening right now in your cycle, demands a rapid acceleration of your life. an undeniable surge forward that completely overwhelms that invisible siege. The heavy energy of envy fed on your pauses, thriving when things moved at a pace they could easily control. But this velocity shift brings a speed that they simply cannot handle. There is a cosmic law that governs this exact moment, and it is absolute. Envy can only trap what stands still. When your frequency accelerates, the heavy eyes simply cannot track your light anymore. This is why the pressure feels so intense. You are quite literally breaking the sound barrier of your own spiritual constraints. Think of the master clockmaker. For as long as you can remember, you have been the one who spent years in the quiet, meticulously fixing every tiny gear, making sure everything worked perfectly, while others eagerly took the credit for simply knowing the time. You worked in the dark, absorbing the dust of the machinery, watching the hands tick forward for everyone else while you remained hidden behind the scenes. You perfected the mechanism in absolute silence, convincing yourself that your role was merely to support the structure, to be the reliable anchor that everyone else could depend on when their own lives broke down. You believed that if you just kept your head down and did the work, eventually your turn would come quietly. But the universe does not reward the master clockmaker with silence. The master mechanism is finally clicking into place for you. It is exactly where you are right now, Virgo. The time of fixing things for others is permanently over. The clock has finally struck your hour, and the gears are turning solely in your favor. You are stepping out of the workshop and into the light. I watched you repair every broken piece they handed you, even when your own hands were trembling and exhausted. I saw you step back into the shadows so their light could shine a little brighter, sacrificing your own recognition to maintain the peace. But this sudden acceleration is not a mistake, and I am not asking for your permission to elevate you. The waiting is completely over, and I am forcefully clearing the room so you can finally claim the empire you built in the dark. There is a man who carried this exact same invisible siege for years. Every time he was about to boldly step into his new era, someone else's heavy energy would quietly pull him back to zero. He would build an entire foundation from scratch, meticulously planning every detail, and right before the massive breakthrough, a sudden crisis, a heavy silence or a disguised compliment would make him second-guess everything. He would instinctively shrink down, hiding his victories just to keep the peace and protect the fragile egos around him. And then, during a sudden violent acceleration, just like the one you are experiencing right now, he simply stopped apologizing for his momentum. He stopped pressing the invisible brake pedal to make others comfortable with his growth. What changed in him wasn't his luck. It was his absolute, unwavering refusal to let spiritual envy dictate his speed anymore. He embraced the velocity, and the invisible siege shattered instantly, leaving him completely untouched by their heavy eyes. You are still processing this right now, feeling that strange, icy prickle on the back of your neck as the heavy weight of realization finally settles into your chest, confirming what you already knew in secret. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name on it. The revelation of this velocity shift is not merely about what the universe is abruptly doing to your surrounding environment. It is profoundly about who you are being forced to become within it. You can no longer afford to be the background character in your own massive breakthrough. This intense acceleration is aggressively stripping away every false role you adopted just to survive the heavy energy around you, and it is finally exposing the undeniable truth of your spiritual identity. You are the silent architect, the one who meticulously built everything from the ground up without ever demanding a single round of applause. You laid the bricks, calculated the hidden risks, and ensured the foundation was absolutely flawless for everyone else. Yet you constantly carried the quiet vulnerability that your own masterpiece might be taken from you at the last second. You are the resilient anchor, the steadfast force who held everyone else's chaotic storms together, while completely ignoring your own crushing exhaustion. Virgo carries. Virgo sustains. Virgo does not ask for a life raft, even when the brutal weight of the water threatens to pull them under, terrified that showing a single drop of fatigue would make them an unbearable burden. And right now, you are becoming the awakened catalyst, the brilliant force who is finally stepping out of the shadows and directly into the blinding light. You are unleashing a momentum that permanently changes every life you touch. Yet you are still fighting that deeply ingrained urge to apologize for outgrowing the room. Notice your chest right now. That sudden, expanding warmth spreading through your ribs has a name. It is the profound, undeniable relief of finally being seen for exactly who you are, without the heavy layers of expectation and endless control. You are all three of these profound forces, and the universe is fiercely demanding that you integrate them entirely in this exact cycle. You are no longer required to shrink your brilliant architecture, hide your breathtaking resilience, or dim your catalytic light just because someone else's unhealed envy cannot handle your stunning reflection. But this identity that has just been declared over you needs to be sustained, because the Virgo who knows their own immense value without knowing the exact invisible siege that surrounds them will eventually go back to carrying heavy eyes that are not theirs. To anchor this new identity, I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. It is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. You must consciously secure this protection because you are navigating a massive cosmic acceleration, and you need to completely sustain this accelerated identity that has just been unleashed over your life. Do not wait for the heavy eyes to return before you secure what is rightfully yours. The heavy energy will try to subtly creep back in through the microscopic cracks of your old doubts, your old fears, your old instinct to hide. Go to the first pinned comment, download your digital book, and lock in the spiritual armor of this new era so you never have to retreat into the shadows again. I promised I would come back to this, but first, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to return to drag you back, because it will try. I told you I would reveal exactly how this invisible siege will attempt to return and drag you back into the shadows, because the universe is aggressively pushing you forward. But the heavy eyes that fed on your stagnation will not surrender quietly. The moment you claim this massive acceleration and decide to stop apologizing for your momentum, the old energy will desperately try to test your new resolve. It will not come as a loud, obvious attack that you can easily fight off. It will creep in through three specific, highly subtle tactics over the next few days, aiming directly at your deeply ingrained Virgo need for control and perfection. First, the sudden whisper of doubt right before you sign the paper, make the final choice, or take the massive leap. For some of you, it will be that creeping, icy feeling in your stomach that you missed a fatal flaw, that this new era is simply too good to be true and you are about to make a catastrophic mistake. It sounds exactly like your own rational voice, but it is not. When that happens, your weapon is simple. You take a slow, deliberate, deep breath, forcing your lungs to expand fully, and you declare out loud, "I am ready for the speed of my blessings." Second, the disguised compliment that is perfectly designed to make you second-guess your massive achievement. It will come from someone you know, beautifully wrapped in a polite smile, but it will leave a strange, bitter aftertaste that drains your confidence instantly. It is their unhealed energy attempting to attach itself to your momentum. When you feel that subtle, energetic hit land on you, you use your second weapon. You physically brush your shoulder, as if literally dusting off a heavy weight, and you say with absolute certainty, "I return this weight to its sender." Third, the profound urge to hide your true happiness just to keep the fragile peace. You will catch yourself about to share a major victory, only to look at the room and instinctively swallow your words so nobody else feels inadequate around your success. You will desperately want to dim your blinding light to make others comfortable. When you feel that familiar urge to shrink back into the background, you stand up perfectly straight, pulling your shoulders back to take up absolute space, and you affirm, "My light is mine to hold." These three weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today, but the cycle has more layers than fit in one video. And for everything else they throw at you, the answer is in the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. When the disguised compliment hits, when the old doubt creeps in, when the sudden exhaustion tries to stop your momentum, you need to know exactly how to shield your energy completely. You must secure this digital book in the first pinned comment because it provides the complete blueprint of protection you need, so this invisible siege never drags you back. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the invisible brake pedal to be pressed again to seek your shield. The cosmic window that is pushing you forward is aggressively narrow, and it will not stay open while you try to fight this spiritual battle completely unarmed. Now I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. Lower your guard, Virgo. Drop your shoulders right now. Unclench your jaw. Take a deep, slow breath, letting your chest expand completely, and just exhale all that dense, accumulated pressure you have been carrying in secret for so long. You do not need to figure out the next step right now. You do not need to overanalyze the speed of this new era or frantically anticipate the next challenge. For this exact moment, you just need to be here, completely present, entirely safe, and ready to receive what is yours. Close your eyes. I want you to vividly imagine standing inside a thick, suffocating ring of gray smoke that has silently surrounded you for years. This smoke is the envy, the doubt, every disguised compliment, every heavy stare, and every silent judgment that actively tried to keep you stagnant. Now feel a sudden rushing wind blowing fiercely from behind you, shattering that smoke instantly. Watch it dissipate into absolutely nothing. Feel the profound physical weight finally lifting off the back of your neck. Your lungs expand freely. The path ahead is completely clear, bathed in a bright, undeniable light. The invisible siege is permanently broken, and the heavy energy can no longer track your frequency. Release the deeply ingrained need to apologize for your own unstoppable momentum. Release the heavy eyes that watched you from the shadows, silently waiting for you to fail. Release the crushing guilt of finally outshining the room. Release every single friendship, every connection, and every environment that only felt comfortable around you when you were actively shrinking yourself to fit their fragile expectations. You are no longer required to carry the emotional weight of those who refuse to grow alongside you. The massive dam has shattered, and you must let the current carry you forward without looking back at the dry riverbed you left behind. Right now, you activate the silent architect, firmly recognizing that every flawless foundation you meticulously built in the dark was actually preparing you for this exact empire. You activate the resilient anchor, finally understanding that your immense strength is no longer meant to quietly hold everyone else's chaotic storms, but to powerfully sustain your own breathtaking rise. And you deeply activate the awakened catalyst, stepping fully into the blinding light without a single trace of hesitation or fear, knowing with absolute certainty that your newly unleashed momentum is completely unstoppable. You are still processing this right now, feeling that deep, resonant warmth spreading through your chest as you realize you are finally free from the invisible cage. You are no longer swimming against the tide. Before we seal this, write down below the name of someone you are carrying through this crossing, or if this is for you, write in one sentence what you are expecting the universe to return to you. I will read it. And you will not write this alone. Do not release this energy just yet. We are not finished. Stay with me. I seal the foundation of your home against the heavy energy that tries to silently drain your peace. I seal the quiet effort you put into everything you build, ensuring it will never again go unnoticed or unrewarded. I seal the massive doors that are aggressively opening for you right now, so that no heavy eyes can ever shut them again. I saw every time you had to rebuild from scratch, watching every yes suddenly turn into a no. I watched you exhaust yourself swimming against an invisible tide, believing that stagnation was simply your destiny. But I did not allow that massive dam to break, just to watch you drown in the sudden speed of your own blessings. I saw you hesitate to hit send on that message, because a quiet fear told you it was too good to be true. I watched you carry the silent exhaustion of working in the dark, thinking you were protecting yourself by staying small. You were only feeding the spiritual envy that kept you trapped. The sudden chaos you feel is not a punishment. It is my hand, aggressively clearing the path you were too humble to clear for yourself. I am removing the heavy eyes that watched your every move, breaking the chains that forced you to apologize for your own blinding light. I am demanding this acceleration because what I have prepared cannot be delivered in the slow energy of your past. The rewards you waited years to receive are rushing in, and you must stand tall to claim them. Do not shrink your brilliance to make the room comfortable. I have shielded your steps, I have scattered the invisible siege, and I am declaring that your new era is not a mistake. It is exactly where you belong, and it cannot be stopped. The sudden whisper of doubt right before you make a choice ends here. The disguised compliment that makes you second-guess your achievement ends here. The profound urge to hide your happiness to keep the peace ends here. Virgo has never been cold. Virgo is not envied for being demanding. Virgo is envied for quietly delivering what others only promise out loud. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you. I saw you hesitate to hit send on that message because a quiet fear told you it was too good to be true. And it is exactly because of this that I need to remind you of one thing before sealing. What was cut and cleared in this space today is absolutely real. But the outside world will attempt to convince you that nothing has changed, triggering that old instinct to shrink down that will try to visit you again tomorrow morning. The heavy energy will quietly try to test if you are truly ready to sustain the blinding speed of your reset. This is why you absolutely cannot leave your energy field exposed for another day. You must go to the first pinned comment right now and download your copy of The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This digital book is your definitive companion and shield for this accelerated cycle. You must lock in the spiritual armor you just forged, so this new era remains untouched tomorrow. It is not enough to simply break the old energetic cage. You must actively secure the new doors that are rapidly opening so they can never be shut again by unhealed envy. Do not wait for tomorrow's tests to realize you needed to seal this energy today. There are thousands of Virgos listening to this right now, sitting in the very same silence as you. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel. Not to be another number, but because the next message of this series will look exactly for those who have already crossed this first one. In the next video of this series, I will show you the exact energetic symptom that appears 48 hours before a massive breakthrough, and why almost every Virgo misinterprets it as a warning to stop. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Virgo, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees. And the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the heavy eyes try to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of spiritual envy. And it is already within your reach. The massive dam has shattered. The invisible wall of envy is permanently broken, and the current is finally carrying you forward. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Virgo.